Hello. Today's topic, your ideal relationship. Are you ready to create it? So, first, I want to ask you, what do you want in a relationship? What do you want in your partner? What do you want in yourself? And particularly, I think about this question with regard to the spiritually awake perspective, because for me, I had such a split between what I wanted and well, what I thought I could get, I guess, in relationship versus what made my heart feel, um, what made my heart sing, right? So my spiritual life made my heart sing, but I didn't want to experience that song by myself. I really wanted to experience that song in a relationship. So I I pursued a relationship and I pursued it hard. I put everything on the line. I mean, man, so much energy and so much focus into the relationships that I had, trying to make them work. But I made a lot of mistakes. And well, one of the hardest parts of that time of my life was the fact that I didn't, I didn't, I had attracted partners to me that didn't understand my spiritual life, and they didn't relate to it. And so I I tried to fit myself into what they wanted, and I didn't. I kind of hated on myself, literally. I mean, there was one time when someone actually told me straight up that he did not want. Um, he didn't want to be part of my spiritual life, and he could see it was such a big part of my life, and so he knew that it wasn't right for us to be together. I didn't feel that way. And but so he was rejecting me that day, and I actually had the feeling that I wanted to take a knife to my spiritual life and just stab it and kill it, because I felt like, I mean, those are really harsh words, but that's actually what went through my mind, even though it's impossible to do that. But I just wanted to be someone that he would love. And thank God that I don't feel that way anymore. I just want to take a moment of gratitude for feeling the love and the strength and the honesty of just wanting to be myself. I don't want to fit in anybody else's box anymore. So, so as you're thinking about what you want in a relationship, what you want in your partner, I also invite you to think about what do you want in yourself or for yourself. Um, so for me now, I've realized a number of things. I'll share some of them with you. uh, One of them is that I've realized that I want a partner who understands my mission, because I do have a big mission. I really, really feel called. I know that I came here specifically to lay love down on the planet, not my own love, but divine love, to help humanity one person at a time, to reconnect to their divine nature and allow that divine loving expression to come through them, and by so doing express divine love on this planet. This planet is in dire need of a reclamation by love. And the way I see it, each of us have a role to play in that. Not everyone feels called. Not everyone who feels called will answer. But my mission actually is to reach the people who feel called, who do answer, but who are struggling with how the pieces fit together. Because that's what my journey was trying in relationships to figure out, how does the pieces fit together. I have this deep passion for my spiritual life, for the spiritual connection and the vision that I see of what earth can be like when divine love reigns freely here through the hearts of humanity. And yet, in my own life, my own love life, I had such a hard time finding a place where I could bring that natural expression of my heart together with a feeling of intimate connection with an intimate partner. So, so if that's important to you, I encourage you to give that a place on your list of what you want in a relationship and to respect and honor that, because I spent so much time not honoring that. And I took myself on some really long and painful detours. Now, those were important lessons for me to learn. So if you're on a journey like that, don't judge yourself. Just find how you can really take in the lesson and really see what there is for you to learn. Because on the other side of that lesson, where you can actually stand in the truth of knowing that you are a spiritual person, that you are a child of divine love, and that your mission and your purpose is to express that in the way that is unique to you, the way that you feel inspired to do that, and that that has a place in the sunshine in your intimate partnership. The sooner that you get to that, the sooner you get to a certain kind of paradise that took me a long time to get to, but I'm so grateful to be here. So anyway, what do you want in a relationship? What do you want in your partner? What do you want in yourself? What do you want to feel? And then my next question for you is, do you have the skills to pull that off? So you may have a vision. I hope you have a vision, a beautiful vision of connection with someone, a beautiful vision of connection with yourself, this sense of intimacy and deep feeling, deep love. I hope that's some of the attributes that you describe your ideal relationship with. Do you know how to create that kind of experience? Do you know what creates that kind of experience and what destroys it? And I speak from experience of thinking that I knew when I really did not know. I thought for, I don't know, I mean, I think of two periods, my 20s and my 30s, of fervent, passionate, and painful dating life. But I feel like the principles that I thought of how relationship works came from earlier in my life. So maybe it was actually 3 decades, even starting with like reading fairy tales. Yeah, I thought that really giving myself my energy, my balance over into the relationship, I thought that that was going to create this amazing, deep healing for my heart connection with an intimate partner. And I worked that program really, really hard, and I hurt myself a lot. I hurt myself a lot because I was really actually trying to control the situation and control the other person. It might be a stretch to see that, but yeah, by giving taking my energy that belongs inside my core and instead putting it out out my eyes, out the front of my being, front of my body, towards the other person. I don't know if you can relate to this energetic description. We can talk about things at the psychological level, but we can also talk about them at the energetic level. So, and this one for me, I discerned energetically more than psychologically. So it was a quality of leaning towards my partner and forgetting about my core. And I thought that that way of investing myself in the connection with my partner was how I would feel deeply with him, feel this deep connection that I was chasing after. But it always felt like it was around the corner. It was always just out of reach. And because it was just out of reach, I kept going for it. I kept going for it. It was like the carrot was just a few inches in front of me, but I never got there. When I had a gift of grace to realize that that approach to relationship was never, ever, ever going to work because I felt overlooked, right? This was my big gripe after 2 decades of relationship struggles. I felt unseen, unheard, overlooked, and I had enough. I had enough of that. So I got really pissed at God. I was like, what the bleep? What is going on here? I'm trying so hard and still it's still this heart connection that I desire is out of reach. And by a gift of grace, again, it was this feeling, not a thing I could talk about psychologically, but actually a feeling. I felt this insight slide into place. And as it was sliding into place, then I started to see, oh, I'm overlooking. Here's the sequence of events. I overlook my core, my heart, so that I can give myself my all into the relationship. And I do that with the anticipation that he will reciprocate. And then my perception when he doesn't mean that he didn't, though. It just means it didn't feel the way I thought it would feel. Then I felt angry and I felt overlooked. I felt unseen and overlooked. And I was like, oh, that's because I'm overlooking myself. That's why I feel overlooked, because I'm overlooking myself. Even if the connection with him felt like the way I envisioned that it should feel, I would still feel overlooked and angry because I'm doing it to myself in the beginning of that whole sequence. So I realized that my idea about how to create this ideal relationship was fatally flawed. It would never, ever work. It would never work. And that's when I vowed never to overlook my sacred heart again, never to overlook my inner connection with divine love again. And at that point, I realized I don't know how to be in a relationship. All my skills for how to be in a relationship have been developed in this out of balance way, in this way where I'm overlooking myself and I'm giving myself into the relationship, this kind of codependent dynamic. I actually don't know how to be in relationship while listening to my heart. So I felt like I was starting over as a teenager in a sense, except I felt so much more balanced in myself than I did when I was a teenager. Thank goodness. Yeah, so I went through a period of having to take it really slow with myself because I needed to feel how to listen to my heart and ask, okay, now if I listen to my heart, then how do I order off the menu at a restaurant? If I listen to my heart to guide me, then how do I respond to what this guy just said? Like I had to really slow it down because I had all these knee-jerk reflexes for how to behave in all these different situations, from big to small, mundane to big deal. All these situations, I had reflexes of how to respond as a woman who feels like she's not lovable inside and she wants to be lovable, and she thinks that the way to do it is to fit into what this other person who's important to me wants, or whatever it is that I guess that he wants. Those are all my relationship skills were built on that foundation. So I had to throw them all in the garbage and invest in a completely different way to approach relationship. And that's what I did. And because I did that, I now have a relationship that satisfies what I need as a whole person, as the person who's standing in her mission with divine love, which is um, the most inspiring. It's most inspiring and enlivening in life to be your authentic self, and that is the natural way for me to describe, from a big picture, high level point of view, uh, my authentic calling. And so, thank goodness, I found how to stand in the authenticity of my own being. And because I chose that, I discovered how partnership actually does work in a way that my ideal relationship can actually come to pass. And yeah, so, and is currently, my current ideal is currently occurring. Anyway, so what is your ideal relationship? What do you want in your partner? What do you want to feel in yourself? And what's your idea about how that can actually happen? What skills have to be in play in the relationship for that ideal to come about? And I know those are big questions, but I would love it if you want to share your thoughts about that, what your answers are, in the comments or in a DM if you want to do it privately. That's what I would love. I would love to hear your answers to those questions, and what your discernments are about how to create what you want. What blocks it? What blocks it? What allows it to? What would allow it to thrive? And yeah, let's have a conversation. Okay. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.